Today on Nat Chats, I'm going to talk about how to make an offer on a property here in WA. Now, the first thing I'm going to say about making an offer on a property is to put your offer in writing. Why? Well, there's two very important reasons. First, because offers aren't real to sellers unless they're in writing. It tells the seller that you're serious about the property and not just trying to test the waters to try and gauge what they might accept. Written offers carry significantly more weight than a verbal one, and many agents, including me, make a practice of not having their sellers respond to verbal offers. We communicate them because we're legally required to, but we only deal with and respond to an offer once it's in writing, because it's not real unless it's in writing. Now, if your agent uses an electronic signing service such as DocuSign, it can take less than 10 minutes to complete an offer. It can be a very simple and straightforward process. So if you're serious about buying, make sure that your offer is in writing. The second reason that offers should always be made in writing is that offers are not just about price, they're also about conditions. Now, the conditions that you add or leave off an offer can make all the difference as to how attractive it is to a seller and how they respond to it, sometimes more so than price. So let's talk about conditions. When you make an offer, remember that sellers are looking for the easiest route to a result. They want to sell to someone who seems easy and straightforward to deal with, and they want to get to settlement as easily with as few hurdles and issues as possible, ideally none at all. Now, the highest form of offer you can make for a property, albeit that it's very rare, is a cash unconditional offer. That is an offer that is not subject to finance, where you've already got the funds to buy, you're purchasing the property in as-is condition with no warranties for anything in working order, and with no building and termite inspection conditions, basically no conditions. And that is typically how most property is sold at auction too. The majority of property in WA is sold by private treaty, which is where an offer is made and accepted on a contract of sale by offer and acceptance, or what we call an O&A for short. And usually they're conditional offers, where the offer has been made and accepted subject to the satisfaction of a number of buyer conditions. So what are the typical conditions that buyers attach to offers? Well, obviously the first one is finance, which is whether or not you're borrowing money to purchase the property, and most buyers are. If you need finance, you're going to need to nominate the amount that you need to borrow, either as a percentage of purchase price or a dollar amount, plus the time frame that you need for finance approval. And in WA, we usually go with a standard of 21 days for acceptance, but sometimes it can take longer. So check with your bank or broker as to what you need and what's going to be appropriate. And if you're not sure what you can borrow, don't make an offer. You're not in a position to enter into a negotiation with a seller. You really need to have your ducks in a row with your finance before you start making offers for property. Second is a standard seller warranty. Usually that's included, so the seller warrants that items such as gas, electrics and plumbing and pool equipment, if that's applicable, are going to be in good working order at settlement, so that should be there too. Most buyers also want to include building and termite inspection conditions on their offer, and REWA has standard ones of those that can be added, or sometimes agencies have their own version. The important thing is to make sure that you read those conditions thoroughly and understand what's covered and not covered before signing and presenting your offer. If there are any other concerns that you have or any other conditions that you want to add, discuss them with the selling agent first. The chances are that there's a standard condition that already exists that will address your issue, or there may be a way to either ask questions or do further inspections or do some further form of due diligence so that you actually don't need to add any extra conditions to your offer. Remember, this is very important, the more conditions you place on your offer, the less attractive it's going to be to a seller. If you load up your offer with lots of conditions, particularly non-standard ones, the seller may see you as someone who they think is going to be very difficult to deal with, and they may be reluctant to sell to you in the first instance. And look, if you're in competition with other buyers for a property, you simply can't afford to do that. You're not going to get a look in. It's also best not to try and write your own conditions. The ones that we receive that buyers have tried to write themselves, even when they're lawyers and think that they can write them, are often full of issues and normally unable to be actually satisfied. They can't be legally satisfied. If you're in doubt, talk to your agent or contact an experienced settlement agent if you're looking for an independent professional opinion. But again, the most important thing, if you're serious about an offer, put your offer in writing. It takes all of 10 minutes. It shows the seller you're committed to the process. But make sure you've had all your queries answered and understand what you're signing, as once your offer's accepted, you're in a binding legal contract and it's too late to change things. As always, if you're thinking of buying or selling in the suburbs surrounding and nearby Beaufort Street, I would love to help. Call me on 0405 812 273 or email me at natalie@belcourtproperty.com.au. Have a great day.